Two Republican senators now say they would like to wait until they hear from a woman accusing Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh of sexual misconduct decades ago before moving forward with the nomination process. They are Senators Jeff Flake and Bob Corker. Flake is on the Judiciary Committee. He tells Fox, "I'm uncomfortable moving forward with a yes vote until we hear from Ford, the accuser." Two question marks now become the undecided Republicans, Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins. They would come into play if the Judiciary Committee decides to go ahead with the vote scheduled for Thursday to recommend Kavanaugh to the full Senate, because the full Senate can go ahead and give him a thumbs up or try to, even if the Judiciary gives him a thumbs down. The Republicans on the Judiciary Committee released a statement that says, in part, it's disturbing that these uncorroborated allegations from more than 35 years ago during high school would surface on the eve of a committee vote after Democrats sat on them since July. The Judiciary Committee's top Democrat, Senator Dianne Feinstein, says, "From the outset, I believed these allegations were extremely serious and bear heavily on Judge Kavanaugh's character. However, as we have seen over the past few days, they also come at a price for the victim. I hope the attacks and shaming of her will stop, and this will be treated with the seriousness it deserves." And this doesn't just involve a potential Supreme Court job for Kavanaugh. It also might put in peril his current job on the D.C. court, because another Democratic Senator, Sheldon Whitehouse, says if it turns out that Kavanaugh lied to the FBI, he could be impeached. On Capitol Hill, Peter Ducey, Fox News.
All right, Peter, thanks so much for getting us all caught up there. Okay, well, we've been watching Florence, right? The devastation, the destruction, the flooding still happening in the Carolinas. But I'm going to show you a local story that our very own Carmen Blackwell did. Could you imagine if we could build structures that could withstand Mother Nature?
With the right material, the perfect block in Peoria says your home or business could withstand any disaster. Tornadoes and fires, termites, and even burglars. What's really selling these building blocks off the lot? They can stand up to Category 5 hurricane rains and winds of up to 250 miles per hour.
The hurricane winds just isn't the only thing that creates the damage. It's the water. Rot, mildew, mold. They have to literally tear off all the drywall. You don't have to use drywall on our product.
That's because of what these building blocks are made of. The engineering and installation company uses recycled items we use every day, like styrofoam coolers that would normally go to landfill. Instead, the company turns them into an insulated concrete form.
We turn around and we do a process, and the process turns around and makes it into this. So once we turn around and recycle it, then we turn around and we put our cement mixture into it and we make it fireproof. You do not need any skills. It's just stack it, level it, and pour the grout inside it. And that's what gives it the structure.
The eco-friendly building blocks could reduce energy cost while serving as a barrier from disaster, one block at a time. In Peoria, Carmen Blackwell, Fox 10 News.
All right, Carmen, thanks so much for that story. Gonna stay local here in Arizona. Our very own Steve Kraft did a story last week about a father meeting his son for the first time.
Gary Ham used to work special operations in the Navy. That was pressure, he says, but nothing like this.
The stuff that I used to do for a living was pretty dangerous stuff, taking bombs apart and jumping out of planes and swimming underwater, but this scares the crap out of me.
Tell me when you see her.
Today, Gary's standing with Lauren Anderson, his fiancée, waiting to meet the son he never knew he had, 26-year-old Josh Thomas.
I had a one-night fling with a young Army girl who was at the time separated from her boyfriend. And so in any case, I forgot about it. She apparently forgot about it. She got back with her boyfriend. Josh was born thinking that everybody thought that that was his mother and that was his father.
As fate would have it, both had recently done DNA tests on Ancestry.com and discovered their father and son.
There he is.
There he is.
Josh rounds a corner and the two meet for the very first time.
So awesome to finally meet you. Dan of bad luck, you look just like me.
So much.
Look at you.
It's a lot for Josh to process, too.
I don't know, just looking forward to it. You know, you think one thing for 26 years and then it's topsy-turvy, so it's a lot to look forward to, a lot to catch up on.
A lot to look forward to and a lot to catch up on. I like that. Okay, well, this next story is about a wounded vet getting a new backyard in Dallas, Texas.
I'm in awe as to how much people put in to make this happen.
I can't even put it into words. I mean, it's the true meaning of Haven for a Hero.
This backyard sanctuary is exactly what Rick Turner had in mind when he founded the nonprofit Spirit of a Hero. Marine Corporal Brian Aft is just his latest beneficiary.
I'm just happy for him.
Every year, Turner, a Purple Heart recipient himself, picks a fellow veteran to help. This year, he chose Aft, who lost both his legs in an IED explosion in Afghanistan.
We jumped on it. We were grateful for the opportunity to be able to help him.
Turner enlisted the help of Tal Thevino with Aquaterra Outdoors. The Dallas-based company donated $100,000 worth of work and supplies.
Raising the entire backyard over 3 feet, and every surface, every finish is brand new.
Unlimited gratitude and appreciation. I mean, I can't even tell you how thankful I am for them doing this.
Aft envisions a lot of family cookouts like the one happening here Thursday night. It's also a new place for his dog Buckshot to roam. Buckshot, the bomb-detecting dog, also survived that same IED blast.
The only thing I didn't like about being over there was getting hurt. You know, I was happy to do that. I mean, I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
You know, it's a place they can chill together. I mean, Brian likes being outside, you know, and he wasn't ever able to before, so now he's got a great place here for him and his dog.
Wow. Heartwarming story there out of Dallas. Okay, 2 more top stories for you today, this Monday edition on News Now. It's about, well, I'll let you see.
I was a draftee. I'm not they called me, I went.
Charles Medallas served his country in Vietnam, but 50 years later, he's taking on a new battle. Medallas suffered an extensive infection in his mouth back in 2015. Doctors from the Department of Veterans Affairs performed surgery and had to pull out all of his teeth.
So they called me in there and they ripped 23 teeth out at once.
The surgery fixed the infection, but Medallas was left toothless. He then asked for dentures, but was told he didn't qualify.
It changes your whole life. You can't eat right, you can't look right, and people don't understand what you say as much.
Charles was left looking for answers, and then the group Smiles for Veterans stepped in.
If it would not have been for our program, Smiles for Veterans, providing Charles with that full set of dentures, he would have been toothless for 3 years.
Patricia DeVore is the founder of Smiles for Veterans, a program developed by VFW Auxiliary Post 7452 in Montgomery, Illinois. In 3 years, the nonprofit has funded dental care for nearly 100 veterans who don't qualify for it through the VA.
Most are Vietnam era veterans. They were subjected to Agent Orange, which everybody knows stays in that poison stays in their system forever. And one of the places that it does first show its ugly head is on their mouth, their teeth.
In the fine print, 7 categories of veterans are eligible for VA comprehensive dental care, including former POWs, homeless veterans, and veterans deemed 100% disabled by the VA. Charles fell into the latter category earlier this year and received dental implants.
They should replace your teeth. They should make you whole again, and under any conditions.
A new piece of congressional legislation that would provide comprehensive dental care to all veterans is slated for a House vote later this year. Illinois Congressman Randy Hultgren is a co-sponsor of the legislation.
There's also a cost in not doing it that leads to much more expensive health problems among our veterans. So healthy veterans ultimately save dollars in the long run for the VA.
Vets gave this country a shot at losing their life. And anybody that does that should be reconsidered and given benefit.
Natalie Baumke, Fox News.
The Department of Veteran Affairs said, quote, when veterans do not meet VA dental eligibility criteria, we try to work with agency partners to help ensure they receive the dental care they need, end quote. However, the veterans spoken to on behalf of this story said that it was up to them to fund the cost of dentures or partials. All right, one more top story for you. This next one is about hazardous devices school.
From car bombs to high-risk hostage rescues
Don't move.
and operating robots, the demand for highly skilled bomb techs has never been greater.
There's remote control bombs, there's command bombs, there's victim-initiated bombs. All of that we have to practice and train on here because we don't know what we're going to encounter.
John Stewart is the director of the FBI's Hazardous Devices School in Huntsville, Alabama.
Right now there's about 2,900 that protect us across America, and they all come here for their initial training.
What does it take to be a bomb tech?
It takes a drive, a desire to want to help people. You have to have some mechanical skills. You have to be able to get thoughts from your brain to your hands.
Our Fox News team saw firsthand how bomb techs learn to handle the shock waves and how to operate under extreme conditions and pressure.
We take them from a police officer or firefighter with no background to a position where they can successfully navigate their way through an IED call.
Bomb techs embedded with SWAT teams after the Tsarnaev brothers used pressure cooker bombs at the 2013 Boston Marathon, and a terrorist couple used guns and homemade bombs to kill in San Bernardino, California 2 years later. Fox News went inside the training.
This is sort of a top-tier threat, a Category A. You've got a hostage and a live device, and then something called a dead man's switch. If the hostage takes their thumb off the red button, it detonates.
Removing a hostage device is obviously the riskiest procedures because all of the procedures that we do are manual and hands-on, and having bomb techs integrated with tactical teams just seems to make sense to address the emerging threat.
Stop. Fox cameras stop rolling to protect methods. The training is driven by foreign and domestic intelligence.
We look at that threat stream, what types of explosives are being used in IEDs. That all comes to us, and then we try to assess whether our current procedures and technology can address that threat.
The average person is thinking, how do they put on a suit and walk down range?
The number one goal that HDS teaches us is that go remote, stay remote. There are going to be time frames that just doesn't happen.
Bomb techs visit the memorial wall. One plaque is blank.
And our goal is to ensure that that plaque stays empty, that we don't have another name on that.
In Huntsville, Alabama, Catherine Herridge, Fox News.